All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is, oh my god, dude, this is session 8 of Goblin Stone. And I think for this session, often we'll check in with the players and see what stood out to them the session before and such like that. But given that, this is our 8th session and you all may not know that much about us, I thought I would start and, go around and let some of our Mythlanders introduce themselves a bit. And then I'll do a brief recap of last session and start us back out. There's no pressure, again, for anybody, but if anybody wanted to introduce themselves and share their your interest while you're here, something that you're particularly into, or you can just say, hi, my name, this is me, this is how I know Feanor, or anything else you want to say. So yeah, I'm DM Feanor. I've been running games since I was a kid. I grew up in a rural area and started out running the game for my family, and it kind of just took off from there. So now here I am running games for these amazing people that I meet off the internet. Yeah. Big Bri, do you have you want to introduce yourself? Do you have anything you wanted to share? Uh-oh. No audio for Loka.
Yeah, I didn't want you to keep,
okay,
talking.
Let's see here.
Thank you.
Oh.
There you are. Sorry about that.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, let's try that again for Loka.
Hi. Well, I'll just pick up where I left off. You guys can read my lips for that. No. I'm Big Bri Little Fry. I've been streaming on Twitch and TikTok. Most recently, you can catch me here or streaming on The Burrow Life with my fiance a few times a week. I met DM Feanor through, I signed up for one of his one-shot D&D sessions for, I was going to play D&D with some friends and wanted to do a practice game. Ended up in a, long-term campaign with him. So I am happy to be here and here now. So this is my second campaign. I play twice a week with DM Feanor now. Very exciting.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Thanks for being here, Big Bri. How about you, Nick Beat? Do you have anything you wanted to share about yourself, or?
No.
No?
Yeah. I go by Nick Beat, and I am currently competing in a D&D game show through the Crucible of Fate, and we're about to start round 3 in a few weeks. So it's been very exciting. And I've also been playing D&D forever, Stranger Things. That was I was one of those kids. So big fan of D&D and love playing here with you all.
Heck yeah, Nick. Awesome to have you.
Yeah.
How about you, J Fink?
Hey, J Fink. Been playing D&D for quite a few years now. Kind of just before COVID hit, got back into 5e, and then quickly fell into DMing, which is mostly what I do, is DM private games over Discord, Zoom, all the fun stuff. 2 campaigns running right now, and recently being a player here and there, and playing the Landfall campaign that Feanor runs. So lots of fun there, lots of fun storytelling and chaos, which is what I enjoy most.
Heck yeah. Excellent. How about you, Pon Pon?
Hey. Let's see, I used to stream here on Twitch. I think maybe I'll get back around to it at some point. But in the meanwhile, I've been working on my novel that I have been working on for far too long, but I'm finally giving it the devoted attention that it deserves. I wish I could give it more time, to be honest. Let's see, I've been LARPing or role-playing pretty much my whole life, and was introduced to D&D a few years ago, and since, given my company, one of which being DM Feanor quite often, I'm surrounded. There is no escape for me. I started making everyday reflections as to every moment of what kind of role that would be. I had an excellent dexterity save a few weeks back. I did not fall in the hole. It was wonderful. Been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. So yeah, it's pretty much all the time for me lately, which I'm fine with. That's great. It helps inspire my writing. I've been writing my whole life too, so I like thinking about the overall story and how that functions, even in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. So I do prefer to play antagonistic or strange characters for that reason. They're plot pushers, you know?
Heck yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And how about you, X?
So, Darth Loquitur, been gaming forever. A couple years ago, I was playing a mobile game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I decided I was just going to throw some stuff up on a channel and just kind of document how I was building my account. And much to my surprise, it kind of took off, and so I've got a small channel covering the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You can find me on YouTube at Darth Loquitur. I've also decided to throw up an RPG channel, so I've got the title above my head, Loquitur RPG. If you look on the YouTube, you can also find that channel. And I started out doing some Daggerheart builds, and a lot of the groups that I found that were interested in Daggerheart, the interest has fallen off quite quickly. So I started putting up some D&D stuff now, and I do plan to, put a character build for X and explain what I'm doing with him, and do some stuff for the Mythlanders, and if other people want to, talk their characters with me and post it up on that channel, we can do that as well. So there'll be some Mythlanders stuff up on that channel pretty soon as well. So find that on YouTube and give it a click and a like if you could, please. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Thanks, Loquitur. Yeah, actually, Loquitur got me to run a playtest of Daggerheart, but I didn't know the rules at all. And Loquitur did, so the session was pretty fun. But yeah, it was ran like that. Him sort of feeding me the rules, and me sort of feeding the content back to him. It's probably a good way to learn, actually, for my brain. But yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay, so back to the story. Last session, the party finally managed to get themselves back together with Cliff and Lokag. Making their a somewhat arduous trip, at least at first, through the swampy, nasty water at the bottom of the stone, making their way toward the now lighted tower, climbing out of the waters on a small pillar rock, and were spotted by X and some of the others from the tower top, looking out the balcony of the sanctuary of Bridget. While inside, the X, Helena, and Millie continued to explore the flame itself, the confines of the area, quickly dropping down a rope and signaling to their allies. It drew them across the waters and managed to avoid some slimes that had come up out of the water, some sort of ooze creeping up along the steps, followed Cliff, who managed to nimbly slip away before the rope was dropped down to him. Once back up on the tower top, the oozes did not follow up toward the glowing, triquetra at the top of the tower, blazing golden light out through the darkened stone and dappling off the slime-crusted water below. Inside, they each had, a few of them had experiences with the fire, spoke with voices of distant and powerful figures, both Millie and X, finding a voice to go with the power that seems to be trickling into them. Each of the characters had a reaction to the flame itself, or to having found the place. And finally took a much needed long rest not having slept since since the stone struck the city, and dust, goblins, and chaos overwhelmed the market square. They rest beneath the flame of Bridget, a peaceful, slender, and still flame that casts the stonework, the mosaics, into light and motion. After resting, they decided to explore the second floor. They had locked away the grating on the stairs going downward. Picking the locks, they picked their way back down. They heard motion below. The area divided. Almost small roofed areas within. They could hear noise coming from these doors. And this is where we're going to start out this session. We transition us over to a map area.
I can't believe I missed the part where we had a long rest. That's the best news. I feel so much better. And also does Helena, but I do. Just had to say that.
I felt relieved for you. I relaxed a little bit. So as you all slip across the floor strewn with glass, shredded cloth, stuffing from couches nearby, broken pottery, and the kindling of remains of furniture. X and Millie, top right there of our map, are approaching one of the doors, each of the ones they heard sound from marked with that little pink band. Meanwhile, just to the south of them, you can see Helena, Lokag, and X. Just I believe you can. Yes, excellent. Alright, as this is a new session, and we weren't in the middle of combat, everyone can go ahead and highlight their tokens and roll initiative. And let me put a little bit of music on to start to get us in the mood.
It's the kind of initiative I like to see from Helena. Hardly any.
It's nothing like being a paladin who's actually second in the initiative order. Rarely ever happens.
Don't waste the good rolls.
It's okay, I haven't had to swing the sword at anything for like a session and a half. I will hit this time.
For sure. For sure.
Problem with your generation, you lack initiative.
The only sound in the palace is coming from the windows outside. You can hear the beginnings of hammers ringing on anvils as the smithy sort of comes back to life. You all think you slept through the day. Oh yeah, you all have not been in here more than a matter of hours by the time you slept. Given that you left out earlier, you certainly slept through the day, and you learned that, or you started to think that the goblins are nocturnal, as the stone went very quiet after a certain point. You're certain that not all of them, certainly, because you were attacked during the day, the city was. But still, it may present a vulnerability. But as you all tread softly across the stained glass strewn stone tiles, peering up at the sloped roofs, the domed copper roof in the center of the structure, and toward the darkened doorways. Some of the doors are, cracked just a hair or more. What does Clifford do?
He's eyeing everyone warily. Not really clear on who he can trust here. He kind of looks to Logag. Kind of checks in on him. And he's going to take some time to listen. He's going to just sort of keep his ears out and his eyes out for trouble.
All right. We'll go ahead and make a perception check. It can't be lower than your passive perception
Oh, well,
in this case.
so 17, 25.
Fantastic. As you pause, putting all of your attention into your your sense of hearing, your sense of smell, feeling air currents and such, you are certain there's more than two. You hear noises from the north as well.
Hear that? He looks to Logag. And he kind of looks towards the north. And if he can get Millie's attention or X, he'll try to draw him towards him.
Okay. I mean,
His arms, but
I know, you would been keeping some contact with each other, but it's hard for you all to see. It's dim light. That's right. There's light filtering in, reflected light from the tower, reflecting back in through the broken windows off the cliffs and cavern walls. So it's dim light. You can see them. It's tough, big gestures, small, sign language or small, finger speech won't do it. But large gestures, at least those of you that don't have dark vision, so if you can think of something like that. Millie's been sort of looking back and forth, I believe. Millie, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, Millie probably sees.
and he could kind of fire up a little flint, just a little bit of spark, and sort of call him over real quick as a kind of message.
Okay. We're in exploration, so
Yeah.
y'all are free
So,
to move.
come on over here. Let's kind of move over is kind of the message. Join us.
What does Millie do?
Cliff wants us back. We have come down the stairs to the left side of this hall.
Quiet ones inside here should go there first.
If you don't come to me, Cliff will come to you.
Seems to
I'll
be.
sign back to Cliff. We're here shortly. X, do we want him here or do we want him there?
With that message, I think Cliff will kind of let everyone know, hey, let's go join them. I don't want to be alone here. And he'll start to move.
Okay.
X will put up the
Sign. Come to us.
Let's see, slipping back up. None of
X
y'all
will
have.
point to a sign that says, "Please don't step on the broken glass."
Oh, Helena wants to so bad.
Oh, don't worry, your barbarian friend already did.
That much of it, though. You can make really nice stained glass pieces out of that.
So, Clifford, yeah, if you're moving stealthily, go ahead and make that stealth check.
All right. Stealthing, I'm stealthing with
19. All right. Excellent. Bounty hunter doing what bounty hunters do well.
Yeah,
Notice and not be noticed.
exactly.
All right.
And he let Logag and Helena know, hey, we probably should get over here.
Okay, yeah, I figured, yeah. You mentioned something about communicating that to him. Do gesture or whisper or something.
Yeah. I sort of tap Logag in the shoulder, just smack him, flick his shoulder. Come on.
All right, Helena, Lokag, you're free to move over along with. But yeah, if you're moving stealthily, go ahead and make that stealth check.
Yes.
Will do.
Or hang out. Don't feel like you have to go just because of me.
Oh, but Helena is not going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Or is
Excellent.
Logag will, though.
Maybe she might though.
Hey, the last word.
Lokag's doing that weird, like, high knee walk, trying to not step on glass, but he ends up stepping on a lot of pieces. Just.
All right. So, I am gonna need the two of you to actually back your tokens up a little bit, somewhere around here for Lokag and Helena.
Clifford winces.
Every
There's
every
no
glass that
emoji for
shatters.
face palm.
Right. All right. So, as glass scrapes and snaps on the stone floor, 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors creak open. Figures move within, and you hear the snap of crossbow bolts. Yes, another door somewhere to the north opens.
We'll probably need to center that map a little bit better for the viewers.
Oh, let's see. Did I? Oh, I got off. I did. All right. Let's see here.
Whoa, the world is shaking.
That happens.
These earthquakes are bad.
Maybe we can burn it. If it's an object, then we can destroy it. That's the message I'm getting.
Well, it is the roof. It can definitely be.
Just start
Well, I can
burning
actually
it.
peel it back
Start
off because
burning
you all have seen the inside of it. You've seen what's in there, so I can just sort of remove it for you.
Ooh, that's
but-
pretty.
Knowing that it's there, perhaps you can make use of it. It is a copper paneled roof that seems to be decorative. If you want to loot the tower, that is.
Take the roof with us. Lokag, that's your job.
Its own set, really.
I got it.
Let's see here.
Oh boy. Oh, well, at least, we're nearby. That's good.
And X, you see one for a brief moment as it dips to the south. It vanishes out of sight behind a broken table, and then, of course, the curve of the wall itself.
The three of us over here are pretty well hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, you are. That is what you see. The three of you can see a figure stirring, looking past you, and firing at Lokag. For a 20 to hit.
That does hit.
Lokag's
I
going
wish
to
I
need to
could
make
get that opportunity against the crossbow bolt. You're like,
it. Well, if it had a will of its own, you could.
if I was a monk, maybe.
That might do it. So yeah, my 20 to hit Clifford. Lokag, you're going to need to make a Constitution saving throw, as the wound burns with poison.
Nope.
All right.
13.
Your movement speed is going to be halved,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you will take some poison damage as well. As this one leans,
God.
opens the door, and wow, it rolled max damage. A dead shot from the dark.
All right. Lokag is not feeling good.
That another 20 to hit. That might be something. All right, if that rolls again, I'm going to test it just to see. Because if that rolls a 20 again, I'm going to be suspicious. Okay. That is a 20 to hit Helena as well.
No. It definitely is.
All right, that is a Constitution save for Helena as well.
Oh.
All right, your movement is going to be reduced as well. Lokag, there was a mistake on that damage. Reduced that damage by 1. And it's going to be 12, or 10 piercing and 2 poison to Helena. It keeps doubling up on these numbers. Another max damage roll for the Goblin. Your movement speed will be reduced as well.
Did you say 10 plus 2?
Yes.
Okay. That hurt.
Clifford, you hear another couple of doors open on the far side from you, on the western side.
All right.
But
Did I
nothing
get
pops
this
up to
far?
attack. Say again.
Did I get this far, or did I need to come back a little?
You got that far because you made
Okay.
you made a good stealth check.
All right.
And
I'll
now,
go back.
since we're still at the top of the order, we're going to transition right over into combat initiative. So, Clifford,
Right.
what do you do?
I'm gonna go help my friends because they're getting shotted at. So, just gonna use the ruler and see how far it is. Looks like I can get down to like the edge here, right about there. I think I can do that. So if he goes 30, he can get to like there, and he should be able to shoot at that guy. I think in the
Mhm.
doorway. So he's got the crossbow currently. So he's gonna whip out. Yeah, he's just gonna shoot the crossbow.
Okay.
Rate of fire. He doesn't want to use his fancy, anything else fancy because he's saving the pistol for, marriage.
That's a hit.
Does a 19 hit? Yeah.
It does. Mm-hmm.
All right. Garbage damage. 5.
It's all right. Better than
I am
0.
What's that?
Better than 0.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna do favorite foe on that guy and give him an extra D4.
Let's do it.
Did we get that? Oh, but take the first one. It was a 1. So 6 total damage with the crossbow. And doesn't he have anything cool? He could lose a bonus. No. I think he's gonna be. Yeah, he's good. I'm gonna keep it chill. That's the best he can do. He's like. And that's it. I don't know if he has a little bit of cover. I don't know if he could shoot from like there and have a bit of cover.
Yeah,
But that's
absolutely.
All right. That's it.
All right. So the next in the order is Millie.
All right, so we heard the one in the door north to us, right?
Yeah.
All right. And that door opened, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Goodness.
I'll move up towards it because that's pretty much the best I can do. Drawing the longsword that has recently become imbued with the flames of Bridget, and taking an attack on this goblin.
As you get close to it, you realize there's a greenish glint of flame far back in its eyes as it gazes, almost like a cat's eye reflecting light, but this is not reflected. It's just very dim light smoldering deep within. Its eyes narrow, and it hisses, spits saliva as it looks at this blazing sword, or this shining blade. It seems to not like this blade.
15 to hit.
A 15 is a hit. This has no shield at the moment, or its shield is slung on its back.
Nine slashing.
Nice. All right. Millie, you broke your streak.
Indeed.
Nice.
See, I said I'd hit something this time.
That's right. All right. What's next for Millie?
And I believe that is all I've got. not have double attack yet. That is it. No bonus actions here.
Okay. Did you summon flame to the blade?
I did not on that one,
Okay, cool.
because I can only do that one time.
Yeah, it should be once a short rest for
Yeah,
your
so
proficiency
no, not
bonus
on
in
that one
rounds. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, Millie stands her ground.
Yep.
All right.
Shield at the ready.
Perfect. Next in the order is X. There's
Get
something.
to that goblin from the square.
Yes, it's have a little bit of cover from the door frame. So +2 to its AC. It's currently shieldless.
Okay. Do I have advantage from being hidden or no?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, let's see, Millie, you were sneaking too. You could have rolled that to see if it was crit. So if it is, yeah, go ahead and re-roll that, Millie. X, please continue. It was not cool. Well, not cool, but settled. So yes, you moved up with a 19 stealth at the end of last session.
Okay. So let's do this then.
All right, with advantage. One of those 23s is definitely going to hit.
Wants to be 23 either way.
It does.
Heart wants.
Or 11 of damage.
You both notice something very strange. The goblin does not wince in pain. It doesn't even seem to react, except the physical force moving through its body as you all strike it and slash at it. It is bleeding, and again, there's this rancid stink to their blood, as if there's something like wrong with them, or combined with the flash of green in their eyes, some sort of unsavory magic is in them or on them. It seems very
Okay.
wounded and should have fallen by the bleeding gashes, but it still stands.
I got an offhand attack with my other knife,
Nice.
so let's take that. But no advantage on that, right? Because I'm now out of stealth.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, 14 is
14
gonna miss.
Yeah.
It,
No
skate,
sneak damage on that.
skates off of the blade, sort of, turning in your hand as it catches in his rusty chainmail, or its rusty chainmail.
And it's got a bow out, right? So
It has a
I can walk
crossbow.
away okay, I can walk away from it then.
You could attempt to make an unarmed attack, but it seems unlikely to.
Okay, done.
All right. Next in the order then is Lokag.
Lokag laughs in excitement. Yes, I love a challenge, and he's going to rage and pull out his hammer and use his little 15 feet of movement to just start closing the distance on that fell goblin. He's gonna stick to the kind of the side wall here, because I think there's one that fired on him as well, so he's trying to break line of sight a little bit there.
Yeah, you broke line of sight of the one that shot at you.
That's where it is. So yeah, he's gonna squeeze up against the wall, and yeah, that is his turn. That's all he can do.
Okay.
Well, actually, I guess he could. It's dim light, so it probably be is. Let's see. I need to check something that I've never used Hunter's Mark before. Okay,
Sure.
so he's going to use his Hunter's Mark on this goblin in the doorway.
Okay, nice.
And he's going to throw one of his hand axes at him. Now, is that at disadvantage because of the dim light?
No. Hand axe, the range might. Let's check.
It is 20 feet. So, actually, I think he is further than 20.
Yeah, be 25.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be
Disadvantage
for that. Yeah.
Okay. Throw a hand axe. A 9.
A 9 is gonna miss.
All right.
The goblin doesn't move. The hand axe thunks into the wooden door frame just above its head, but it doesn't even flinch.
If you have another one, you could do a bonus action and chuck the other one with your offhand, but it's a losing proposition.
No. That's okay. Oh, I used bonus action for Hunter's Mark.
Oh, yeah.
True enough. Yeah.
Come on. Now it's his turn.
All right.
Thanks for making yourself a target. I really do appreciate it.
That is what I'm here for.
Nope.
My goodness. All right, so appearing sort of right on top of each other, or sorry, right, one behind the other. Two goblins, one slipping around and firing toward Helena. The other sort of moving out to see a little bit toward the south and firing at Low Cag. Did you duck behind that broken furniture, or are you still standing upright?
He was still standing upright.
All right. So the 21 is coming at Low Cag, and a 23 is coming toward Helena, I believe. Let me double check. So that's 7 points of damage to Low Cag. And Helena, you lucked out with 3 points of damage.
And when I have the damage for raging, that's 3 or 4.
3.
3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
3.
He asked because at the landfall table we round everything up.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. It's try to make
That
it a
and I
little more
also
dangerous. Yeah,
Just forget.
bloodier. Just a little bit bloodier.
little bit bloodier. Yeah, a little bit. Let's see. Those two. These two, they have much rougher equipment. They're both firing those withered-looking short bows. Maybe have tattered leather armor. It's hard to tell. They're sort of ragged. Now, the others have their hair is sort of pulled and slicked, tightened back. They have some sort of and there's some sort of light in their eyes. Their equipment's much better, but still sort of spotted with rust. This one drops its crossbow. It seems to be hanging from a rope harness, slapping against its back as it charges forward. It pulls out a scimitar and slashes at Low Cag for a 26 to hit. The dice are not in your favor at this moment. My goodness.
It's okay.
Once, maybe? Just miss like once?
No. Apparently not.
Alright, that definitely hits. Do you need a Constitution save?
No,
Or
you're already
I'm
under the
already
effect
slowed.
of it, yeah. So halved, you will take 6 points of damage.
And I'm going to use Stone's Endurance to try and strike that down further.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, nice. 12. Okay.
Nice.
So that's okay. So do I take any damage, or we just call that a
None.
1?
That's none. 0.
Yeah, it just the weapon just like sticks to your chest and doesn't go in.
Just a bruise.
You were hoping for a furious or frustrated expression or sound, but the fell goblin gives none. Those to the north, though, you hear a soft, like sort of screeching inhale from one of them, and a chuckle from the other one, whether it's you or its ally. It's hard to say. Let's see here. Next nearest Millie. This goblin, it disengages from you. It sort of ducks one way, and then as you sort of just barely start to address a slightly different angle, it darts out the other way, scurries back into the back of the area while reloading its crossbow. It takes a few seconds to finish drawing the string back and attempts to fire at Millie. A straight roll with a 16 to hit.
And no off.
AC is currently 17.
Nice, that is going to miss. It thumps, it dunks into your shield. It stands out, and you can smell a strong metallic scent of whatever poison it's tipped with.
That was a close one.
Indeed. Right. Just a moment. So Millie hears the thunk of another crossbow to the north. And you can see creeping along the wall, and it is a nat 20 to hit. With a total of 12 points of damage and a constitution save for Millie.
Only a 12.
All right. Your movement speed is halved. Let's see here. Lokag, at the end of your turn, you could have made a save versus that poison. I missed that beat. So go ahead and make that save for Lokag. Let's see if you can get your movement back.
16.
Success. The poison
Excellent.
sweated out pretty quickly. And next in the order is
Bled
Helena.
out.
Go ahead. Bled it out.
Yeah. That's all the blood he lost.
Nice.
So, being at the brink of death is no matter when her dear Lokag, her first and most precious customer, is under threat. She pulls out one of Brigit's arrows and shoots the fell goblin in front of him.
Nice.
Is that just regular short bow?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, boy.
Nice. 23. Oh, you get the archery feat. 25. Nice. That is definitely going to hit that fell goblin.
She doesn't know what those arrows do necessarily, but
Right. All right. Give me just a moment. Roll an additional d6.
4.
Its fly is incredibly straight and true. You think it's enchanted in that way, but there's also the arrowhead bursts into white flame as it's about halfway toward your target. It slams in with a burst of sizzling light.
Take that, foul beast.
A light that, well, the creature, its eyes close for a brief moment. It winces for the first time in pain, and the wound itself seems to be, well, it's hard to tell. There's no blood weeping out. There are instead, the flame continues to flicker right around the wound, as if it sets the figure's blood on fire.
Like how that feels on you.
They are not down, but they seem hurt. It looks like it pierced their heart from behind, but they didn't fall.
Now, Helena is going to yipe next to Cliff because she's hurting.
Good God.
He's got a gun.
And next in the order is Cliff.
Here.
Well, actually,
you know,
before we start, we do the check-in thing. So, Clifford, what are you going to do this round?
I'm gonna go up and help Lokag. I plan on pulling out my sword and shield and going melee.
All right. How about Helena?
Not die.
Nice. And then?
I might shoot something or stab something because that's part of not dying.
There you go.
Righto. Millie?
Hopefully going and finish off that goblin there and that just went in the room.
Nice. X?
Try to heal or bless. See what I can do.
All right. Lokag?
Smash it with a hammer.
I like it. All right. So, top of the order. Clifford Bolt.
All right. I think you said a bonus action. I can pull the shield up and have it like ready. Is that right?
Yeah, if it's like on your harness on your back,
Yeah.
bonus action
So
would be
no.
fine. Mhm.
He's gonna drop the crossbow. Helena, you're welcome to play with it. And he's gonna pull out a short sword with his action. He's gonna move up to there. That's 30 feet. And he's gonna stab the Goblin.
Okay.
Right. Come on, stabbies.
Its
Get
eyes
away.
have turned to stare toward Helena. That's definitely a hit.
All right. I'm rolling just garbage on those damage rolls, but 4 damage. Stabby stab. You all right, Loki? And that's it. Yeah.
Never better.
As you drive the blade through its heart, the green light in its eyes seems to go out for a brief moment before flickering back.
These things aren't mortal. They're driven by some kind of goddamn magic.
That's freaky.
Disgusting.
They've probably been messing around with that same shiny fire you all been. He looks kind of questioningly over towards the other people behind him.
One of those flaming arrows just came by you too.
Woo!
All right, anything else for Clifford?
That's it. Yeah, that's all you got.
Next in the order is Millie.
All right. Moving to the goblin. I've got 15 feet of movement. Gonna activate the sword because it seems like we're in a tight spot again. She just focuses her effort on the blade, the need to kill these things quickly and help her new friends. The blade burns that white flaming light. And 19 to hit.
A 19 is gonna hit.
Only 8 points of damage. One of those is the fire.
You can feel free to describe or pass. as you
Not
dispatch
being
your foe.
exceptionally trained, I think she just stabs into it with the longsword. It slicing into the goblin before her.
The light leaves its eyes as you're drawing the blade out, and as its mouth opens, a thin greenish mist seems to escape and dissipate into the air. The goblin does not move. Drops to the floor. Seems to be lifeless.
Really watches where that mist kind of goes for a second, and then just prepares shield out. To probably take the brunt of another crossbow bolt.
All right. Next in the order is X. You seemingly dash into the room. You see Clifford dash back around the corner. You kind of lose sight of everybody, but Helena for the moment.
Actually, I'll go kind of prone and like almost lay down behind my shield.
Okay, perfect. And X, you heard another a crossbow fire from the north slam into Millie. So you have some idea that there's a goblin up there as well.
Seems to be. You leave yourself options that it is not actually.
Sure.
All right. X moves to here.
It is true.
I'm going to be able to bless 3 targets.
Nice.
I will bless Clifford, Lokag, and myself.
Clifford, Lokag, and yourself. I'm going to use, let's see, pink or purple? What do you prefer?
Purple.
Purple pips for the blessed ones. And you said Helena or yourself?
Myself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Definitely not Helena. She's never been blessed.
If you got a Bane handy, though.
There's no slimes around. Helena's real bane. All right. Anything else for X? Does he say anything or?
Graves call for them. The star tattoo on his forearm will light up. Little stars will shoot out. Bless everybody. And he looks at Helena and shrugs, kind of like, I wish I could include you in this, but not this time.
Shit, whatever.
I'll tuck in against the wall here and be done.
Okay. Next in the order is Lokag. You feel a new steadiness surge over your mind and limbs. Coming, you think, from X.
Lokag is going to raise his hammer above his head, and he goes, "Your eyes are very freaky," and smash it down on top of the fell goblin in front of him for a 22 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit.
All right, excellent.
Wow.
It's gonna do, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
It's gonna do 22 damage.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Lord.
Christ. Oh, it had the D6 Hunter's mark in there. Okay, that's what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch this spell goblin.
It is once more hammer on top of skull into shoulders. Like,
Hammer
that's the signature move for Lokag.
hammer almost touches the ground through the goblin. Long ways. Gotcha.
Yep.
The goblin crumples.
And Lokag is going to look at the other 2 goblins and say, "Who's next?" And I guess, so Hunter's Mark, I can move the Hunter's Mark on my next turn, right? Not this turn? It's my first time using Hunter's Mark.
Let's see. I believe it's a
Let me-
bonus
I can
action
put it-
on each turn. If you have it, yeah, go ahead and pop it
Yep.
up. And
The word subsequent threw me off in there.
oh yeah, it's just turns after this one.
Okay, cool. So it'll be a different turn. But he will move.
You can
up.
move it this turn, boss.
Yeah, as after you
find
cast
it
it.
last-
That's
Yeah,
right.
get behind him, I'll flank it.
Awesome. So then I'll move it to this guy.
Okay.
And after he says, "Who's next?" He's gonna step right up to him and goes, "I choose you," in a very low voice, and looks right at the Goblin.
Nice. Make an intimidation check.
I will make an intimidation check. I'm glad you felt the vibe I was going for. It's not great, but 19.
No,
that was pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. Anything else for Lokag?
That'll do it.
All right. The one goblin that
I
you
honestly don't know.
go ahead.
I don't know what's more intimidating, the fact that he shrugged off 12 hit points and just kind of flexed his chest, or that he pounded the goblin into the dirt. I mean, this is pretty intimidating.
yeah. That's why outside the action economy, just a free intimidation check. So the goblins you're approaching, the one that you transferred your mark to, the one closest to you, is sort of shakily holding its ground. It's steady on its feet somewhat, but the one behind it, its eyes have widened. It's sort of shrinking down into itself and backward. Its shoulders are sort of hunching as it's folding around its bow. As the goblins go, that one darts away, vanishes into a room directly north. And breaks line of sight. At the same time, the nearest goblin has now dropped its bow and attacks you with a scimitar. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Pardon me. A 13 is not going to hit Lokag, I don't think. You tell me.
It will not.
All right. Alright, some hidden Dungeon Master shenanigans in the background is why I am pausing and being suspiciously silent at the moment.
It is rather suspicious.
Well, good.
Be suspicious. Be suspicious. Be suspicious. Be suspicious.
There is a snap of another crossbow from the north. Oh, moving the wrong thing. Another roll, just because it was with advantage. Lokag did not hear it, but not a crit. A 24 to hit Lokag. Another Constitution saving throw for Lokag.
All right. 19.
All right. You are not you're not poisoned, so therefore your movement's not affected. But you do take 7 piercing and 4 poison damage.
All right, and then I will. I'll use my other stone's endurance to try and reduce that.
Okay.
Where is that? It's in here. All right, so I take that. What is that? 11 damage. Then reduce that by 5. Then cut that in half for rage, or the other ways around.
The rage first.
Yeah, rage first, and then the stone's endurance afterwards.
Okay. So 5. So cut it down to 5, and then cut it by another 5.
Nice. 0 again. The figure screams. It's like what I described. You couldn't tell whether it was a mask or if their face was somehow mangled, because all you could see is pointed, like very long, like 2-inch long pointed teeth. No lips or anything like that. Now that it opens its mouth and screams, a high-pitched, shrill, ragged thing of pain and rage. You're surprised that so much can come from such a small figure. You can hear its jaw popping as it stretches its mouth open. You know that it's hurting the small figure. But as it does so, a burst of speed falls over it. It quickly reloads and fires again.
Ooh.
For a 23
hits.
Another con save.
A 17.
And the figure moves as if to move toward you. So that's another 9 piercing and 4 poison.
All right.
Its jaw doesn't completely close either, and as it steps towards you.
It made the con save.
Yeah, I was going to say, does 17 save on that then? Because it was 16,
Yes,
I think?
the 17 will save, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So that is 13, rounded down as 6 damage.
Okay.
Okay, and Lokag's going to make a Constitution save for his concentration. All right,
Oh.
I'll keep up Hunter's Mark.
Nice. 21.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Yeah, Lokag's not feeling good.
All right. And that other goblin had run away.
Ooh.
Next in the order is Helena.
Well, can I, with my newly found abilities, heal myself with Cure Wounds?
Yeah, I believe you can. Now, yeah. Now, is this it's not something that Helena's done before, right?
Mm-mm. She felt it welling in her a couple sessions ago, but she has yet to actually do it.
Oh, okay. And so what does it look like or feel like, or what does Helena do as she summons that healing energy?
I think she sort of feels like she did in the tower, and I think maybe a faint glow and sort of tingling kind of comes over her, and she kind of feels her hands get brighter and warmer, and then she kind of maybe just thinks, nah, what do I got to lose? She's on death's door, basically, and pushes it into her chest.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll your healing. All right, four hit points. Not the best, but better than 0.
A little less on death's door now.
Ooh, less.
And I think she will get just kind of back here, so she's more out of line of sight, I suppose, for the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. X, you notice this thing that you haven't, a magic that you haven't noticed from Helena. Does X say anything or anything like that? Does he react to this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he would look at it and just kind of maybe give a nod of respect.
That makes sense.
I don't think X would be surprised by it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think part of her mentality I meant to mention before is if you want something done, you have to do it for yourself. So I think that's kind of where that energy roused from her as well. That's what she's used to.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Self-care, she could stand to brush her hair, but we'll start there.
Like they say in the airplane, you got to put your own oxygen mask on first.
Hey, DM, I think I've made a mistake. I've been having the poison damage as well, and barbarians aren't. He's not resistant to poison damage.
Oh, okay.
I was just talking about it with that would be 6 more hit points. So Lokeg's actually down.
Okay.
If that's
yeah.
okay.
That is
Alright.
yeah. So yeah, well yeah.
He
say that.
would have gone down that round, so it doesn't change much else. We don't need to change.
Would it
Much else
change
other
your
than that, but
action
he is-
for Elena? Probably not. 'Cause I don't know.
No, I mean,
Nah, she can't see me.
That's fine. We just continue from here.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll save you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Thanks,
Clifford's
buddy.
Clifford's planning to go fight that guy, so if you want to hear my intentions are
I do.
go medieval on the goblin there.
All right. How about Millie?
Well, given no goblin has come to attack me, it's going to be stand back up and check outside. Probably use some lay on hands to cure myself a little bit.
Not a bad plan. All right. How about X?
I might try to save that barbarian.
He's not a bad guy. He's a good barbarian. It'd be a waste to throw him away. How about Lokek?
Pass a death saving throw.
All right. How about Helena? If you get up before that, what are you gonna do? If you get brought back?
With a hammer.
All right. Helena?
I think maybe step into position where she can shoot the goblin next to Lokag.
Gotcha. All right. Top of the order is Clifford Bolt.
All right. Well, I thought I would have advantage, but I'm actually gonna do Zephyr Strike.
I like it. Heck yeah.
So I can harm him, and this will give me I get advantage on this one weapon attack. So let's see how it goes. The short sword. It's
You got a bless on that too, Captain?
oh yeah, bless. Didn't automatically do that. A big one, so 15 enough?
All right. Let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. Yes.
Oh,
That
nice.
is its armor
Alright.
class.
Awesome. Damage is 9. Plus the 1d8 because of the awesome. Make sure I get that in. Because of the Zephyr Strike. So that's 14 total.
And you can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch the goblin.
He almost whimsically just like cuts through him as he moves along, completely like ignoring whatever he's done. Just like, okay, that's taken care of. And moves along to the feral goblin to face him. Do I see anything to the north? Any other allies by chance? Just passively 17?
Any other allies? No.
Okay, good. Then he's gonna race up to the feral goblin and say, "That was my friend." And then he's just gonna kind of like harry him and kind of circle around him and make him nervous. And that is the end. That's all I can do. I've done all my actions and it's ready for you, Millie.
Next in the order, Millie.
Wonderful. All right. Well, stand up. That is 15 feet of my movement. I am still poisoned. My last con save was a 3. So I will, seeing no goblins out the door, drop some lay on hands points onto myself.
Good call.
I'll heal myself for 5. and remove the poison effect, because that's what
Yeah.
that does.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Get that 15 feet back. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Perfect. And then I will come out to the door for 15 feet of movement.
All right. You can see Cliff in the dim light, around the curve of that wall, but no enemies in sight.
That is me.
All right. Next in the order is X.
All right, I will move 30 feet to here, and I will cast Healing Word upon this Lokag.
Nice. Go team.
All right. Now again, that almost cold, solid feeling. Perhaps not that same healing magic that you're used to feeling. But still, it flows. And you can re-roll that 1 on that healing die. All right. 6 to Lokag.
Okay, and since that, oddly enough, Healing Word's a bonus action, so I haven't actually done anything with my action.
Yeah.
So let's move to here. I got 70 total because I'm a wood elf.
Gotcha. Nice.
Me.
All right, beautiful. Lokag, prone, and, covered in your own blood and some of your enemies. A good amount of the stinking fell goblin blood. What does Lokag do?
Lokag is going to stand up and pop his neck back and forth, get a satisfying crack out of that, wipe the blood off his face, say, "That felt cold like ice water from the mountains. It's good thing to be back." And so he went down, so I know Rage is gone. Is Bless still on Lokag?
Yes.
Because
You weren't concentrating on it, yeah.
Excellent. Hunter's Mark is gone, which is fine. Good. And he's going to use his other 15 feet of movement to step on the goblin in front of him and just move up towards towards the Fey goblin. 1 to go, he says. And gives X a little nudge. Thanks for the healing. And I think, let's see. Actually, I just did a lot of fluff talking there.
No, it's fine.
And he's gonna throw his other hand axe at the goblin right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's definitely within range, for sure.
I'll throw it. Yeah,
I think you should. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. See. Get a 22 to hit.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Thanks.
See if you
Very
can roll
nice.
25 damage again.
Yeah, that would be sweet. All right, 9 damage.
The bit of the hatchet buries itself in this, in the goblin's ribcage, like cutting into its chainmail. Sort of rests there, doesn't fall out, but the goblin also doesn't fall. And anything else for Lokag?
That is just gonna do it for Lokag.
All right. Now, so far, the goblin's wound begins to smoke as its body seems to push the bit of the axe out. The axe head clangs to the floor. And the goblin seems to have... its flesh seems to be mending behind it. It gives another screaming shout. But this time the shout doesn't end. It just keeps wavering, high and as low as the small thing's voice might get. All right. Clifford, you are not surprised as the door to the north, as a goblin appears in it. Its short bow leveled at you, so it's going to be a single roll and not advantage. That is a natural 1. It is a crit fumble.
Duck as the hero hits the foe goblin in front of me.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll a d6. There is a mishap table for critical misses.
It's a nice evening. 5.
Yeah, I like player-facing options. It's more fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
Plus, I don't have to toggle over to another screen if I'm looking at my notes, that sort of thing. Let's see here. Range attack 8-5. Alright, go ahead and roll it again.
Roll again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. 4. Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, you see the goblin wince in pain as the bowstring slaps up against its unprotected arm. It seems somewhat preoccupied with the stinging pain and loses its reactions until its next turn.
Clifford laughs. Ha!
So as it fires, that scream continues. The goblin slashes once at Clifford for a 9 to hit. It continues screaming. Its jaw continues to pop as its jaw goes wider and wider. It must be excruciating, but its speed continues to increase. Its speed blurring as it slashes out once more at Clifford. Let's see here.
Nope. Got my shield up.
All right. You can hear a frustrated note in its voice as it continues to scream. Its jaw continues to pop. It continues to harm itself, and it slashes once more.
Third thing is just preternational. That's just not okay. All right, now you hit me. Fine. I hope you're happy.
It seems
All right.
to be satisfied. It turns, disengaging and stepping toward X to then swing its scimitar at him. I need a Constitution saving throw from Clifford.
Wait, 4 attacks this thing had? My
Screams
God.
again and again. Seems to be putting itself through excruciating agony, getting more and more wounded.
Gets an attack of opportunity when it walks away from Cliff.
True.
It used its bonus action to disengage.
Ooh. Roguey hole. 13 save enough? Oh, I forgot to bless.
Yeah, that bless.
Bless the beasts and children. 15.
Its mouth now seems unable to close. It seems unable to stop that scream. It slashes at X for a 14 to hit.
Yeah, I got no armor, man. That hits.
It seems to have no sense of self-preservation. Make a Constitution saving throw for X. Alright, success. But it will be 11 points of damage, 6 slashing and 5 poison.
Okay. And then I'll make the con save for concentration.
Okay. It continues to scream, but it seems unable to reach a higher pitch or open its mouth wider, or whatever it's doing that is making it continue to increase in speed. It seems to slow down to something resembling a normal pace. Next in the order is Helena.
Pretty far away, but let's see. Can't really go straight across like that, can I?
No. I mean, I think it doesn't make that much difference, though.
I was
in
thinking
this
about
case.
I was thinking about dashing, and I counted out the squares, and it put me to the right of the goblin, and at least I'm closer. So.
Yeah, it's basically right on the opposite side from you.
Must defend. So that is what Helena can do.
All right, so she. Oh, let's see.
I mean,
Alright, so-
I imagine she'd kind of like slide under the goblin a little bit, but I don't know if I technically can do that.
So yeah, you're just like kind of skirting your way around the wall over some of the broken furniture, and that's movement and action to dash, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any bonus actions for you, or did Helena say anything?
I don't think she wants to draw attention to herself, and scurrying was the word, yes.
All right. Next in the order is Clifford.
All right. I'm going to flank this bugger, and I'm going to whack him. That's the plan. Should I whack away?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Come on. And I get advantage or a bonus?
+2 for flanking.
I'm going to use my my 1 inspiration to re-roll that because that was garbage.
All right.
13.
Don't forget bless.
Yep. I'm rolling it now. 1, 4. So that's 17 total with the +2 for flanking.
That is a hit.
All right. And that's, again, I rolled a 1 on my damage. 4 damage to this freak. Still standing.
As your blade
Oh!
passes into it, it goes heavy on the end of your blade as it loses strength and collapses to the ground. The green light fades from its eyes, but the jagged, toothy maw does not close. It stays opened in a silent scream.
Now you mentioned the door to the north
Mm-hmm.
that we're coming out of. I don't see it, but
Oh, let's see.
Clifford's got some movement. I think he's going to try to find his way to the edge of the door.
Oh yeah, standing in the door frame is another goblin. I just didn't bring it over into view.
Ah, all right. Well, is there a way to get behind it? Is there any other goblins behind it? Anything I see passive with a 17?
No, but it's like sort of standing in the doorway. So an athletics check to push it back, an acrobatics check to maybe jump over its head.
Try something cool. I'm gonna try an acrobatics check to try to run, get around it.
Okay.
Do a little jump over a little tyke. 8 plus it's a skill check, so I get a D4.
That's true.
Is 10 enough?
10 is not without an attack of opportunity, I don't think.
Yeah. Then he'll just stop and get
Or,
stuck there. Be like, try to get past it, but I guess he can't. That's all right.
Okay.
He'll just stand there by the doorway and threaten him. You can give up now.
You say
You're
it
not gonna
in.
give up, no, are you?
Are you speaking in Goblin?
Goblin, yeah. He's like, you're not gonna give up now, are you? He just sort of asks him, like, kind of nonchalant, ready to stab him.
Its eyes widen as you're speaking its language. It looks down to its fallen enemies, and its bow clatters to the ground. It does a strange thing where it sort of crosses its arms at the wrist, palms outward, sort of like over its head, like it's a gesture of, giving up. Maybe it's offering its hands to be bound. It's hard to say.
Oh, well, Clifford will just look at him with a kind of like renewed respect, and just sort of look like impressed, like he's very proud of this goblin for making the right choice, and that's all he's got.
It seems, increasingly more certain of its choice, flattering tones for the goblin. Likely, it's probably never been spoken to in this tone. By the look of it, and what you've seen of the stone, it looks like most of the denizens here have lived a life of hardship of some sort.
Oh,
Perhaps
poor guy.
conscripted into service, some of them. But this one is not the one with the green lights in its eyes and chainmail and the toothy maw. It seems to be, in most ways, a normal goblin. Its skin is somewhat orangish. It seems dirty and disheveled, similar to the ones that first attacked the square. But unlike the others, there's no marking on its shield, no sort of painted flag that it wears on its belt to indicate what group it's part of or what faction.
Clipway will just kind of intercede, so he's between himself and the goblin. Just kind of looking at everybody, keep an eye on the goblin, but he wants to make sure nobody, shoots it or whatever.
Okay. All right. So, just going back around initiative. Nothing is attacking you all at the moment. What does Millie do? How does she react to this? Obviously, something could still be hiding. You haven't checked all of the rooms, but
I think with the noise, the screaming of whatever was on the other side of the circular thing being cut off, Millie will kind of slowly go around. I'm just going to listen at this door, see if I hear anything.
you do not.
On the other side, okay.
It needs not immediately. You can make a perception. Go ahead and make a perception check. Nothing stands out.
I will make a 7 perception.
Okay. It seems to be pretty quiet. The only sounds are echoing through the windows of the stone.
I'll open the door.
All right. Let's see here. Or destroyed furniture. It looks like maybe some sort of bed, like a day bed. Some sort of furniture that's been broken into absolute kindling. It's probably a chest of drawers.
Alright, not seeing anything evil in there. I'll go to the next door. That was 20, that would be 30. And open it.
More of the same, slightly different design to the headboard. Different sheets have been torn and ripped apart and strewn across the place. Looks like these goblins are really searching inside of everything they could to find anything that may be hidden.
Interesting. Then I will move my 5 more feet and let's go ahead and just take the dash action to the next door.
There is a goblin. It seems to be asleep. Seems to have slept through all of this noise. It's wrapped up in the remains of a tapestry and a rug. The blankets that were torn off the bed have been discarded.
Alright. Let's It's a very asleep goblin. Shit, I'll just keep moving down, opening doors with that
So
next
as you-
dash action.
The next doors that you open, it's again more of the same. Rooms, bedrooms. It looks like everything just ripped and torn and broken apart. But you don't find any more goblins.
I'll, as I get down to my friends, say, "There's another goblin 2 doors that way, but it's asleep. Might not be trouble. It might be death. I don't know. That thing was screaming loudly. What the hell were you guys doing to it?"
Ask
Killing
this
it.
guy. He's okay.
He seems very scared of you, and I mean, from what I've seen you, how you fight, I would be too.
I mean, I'm having a good day. What can I say? As he holds on to the bleeding stab that he got from the last fell goblin.
What's X doing during all this? Does he have any response to this, or is there other
So
things he's doing?
X is still in combat mode.
Mhm.
He's, standing there in his combat stance, tattoos glowing, one dagger high, one low. He's gonna stalk forward and say, "All goblins must die," and he's going all in on this goblin unless somebody stops him.
Well, Clifford doesn't want you to stop him. Hey, he's got information, all right? They're not all. Don't be racist, man.
The
he tries
scales
to-
must balance.
He tries to hold him
I'm
back.
going, man. I'm going.
What do I have to do? to stop him?
Lokag
The attack?
will grab his arm.
All right, make an athletics check for
Not,
Lokag.
not yet.
Come on, athletics.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you can.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Can always happen.
I'll try to do the same. I'll try to grab him too.
And
Okay, look.
Wow.
all right.
Didn't see that coming.
X kid.
No.
Hey, wait.
How bad he
I
was on
able
the
to-
cliff.
I got a 21.
It used to be pretty horrible.
I got a 21 on my reaction, if that helps. Can I
Yeah.
grab him?
Yeah. Apparently, Lokag and Cliff have both managed to grab X.
Oh, you rolled garbage. Nice.
There was ever a time for it.
You both don't understand. X is furious.
Look, you can kill him later, all right? We got to talk to him and see what the hell's going on here, right?
At least ask him where the food is.
There's another sleeping goblin.
Oh,
What scales are you trying to balance?
Clifford will tie him up as people are talking.
Small
X
goblin
or the
seems.
goblin?
Maybe Lokag got X. I'll take care of the goblin. Maybe that'll calm X down a little bit. Look, I got him. All right, I got this.
My
Serious
goddess
face.
demands it.
Serious face.
my
There will be
stomach.
many more goblins to please your goddess.
Food, my stomach. Ask him.
I don't think you're
Yeah,
gonna
he
want
asked
to
the
eat what
goblin,
he
he's like-
eats.
Sorry, what? Go ahead.
I don't think you're gonna want to eat what he eats.
Don't underestimate me.
Oh, hey, now these goblins are great chefs. You know, you wouldn't believe what they can do with rats. Oh, sorry, Helena.
What?
Mhm.
Huh?
Mm.
And then he'll look at the
Well, we could
goblin.
eat him.
You got any food? I'll ask him where their stores are.
The goblin, its eyes flickering to each of the allies as each one speaks. It definitely seems by far the most wary of X. Something about X's tone and his posture as he approached the thing seems to have, well, drawn the goblin's attention.
I'll bring some daylight between the two of them, so they're not like right next to him.
Oh, okay.
Pull them away, give them a little something to ease himself.
After a moment, the goblin sort of tears its eyes away from X, looks back to Clifford, looks up.
Many places food is stored. The bugbears have good meats and ales and strong spirits, though they guard them quite greedily.
Well, as you do.
You're gonna put a good word in for us.
The hobgoblins have strong foods as well. Lasts long time. Not best tasting, but plenty ofs. And the bosses have best foods. Bosses near Temple Shrine. Bugbears and hobgoblins is strong ones. Best foods down here.
Who are these bosses?
Sight Blinder and Goth Hour and Ashbone. Ashbone is commander, the army boss, but he only take orders from masters.
There's a tone.
Right.
Yes. Yes. There's a note of reverence when the goblin says masters, as if he's speaking of gods or something.
And who's the garbage all over him? Murdoch or something?
Huh?
There's the artificer. He tries to describe the whirling, glowing artificer type thing with all the junk that fought them earlier when we were going up against the hobgoblins.
He makes a strange gesture. His eyes cut to the left. He tries to, bow his head down. His hands are maybe behind his back, but he tries to get his hands over where you can, touch. He wants to do some sign to ward off something. He seems suspiciously afraid of this giant armored goblin.
Merlin, the metal magician, strong magics. Some are illusions, some not. Nobody knows which is which. He eats other goblins. That is what they say. He eats anyone who argues with him. Always hungry, Merlin.
I can relate to that.
Goblin laughs nervously.
Now, where are they keeping some of the people from up above? We know they're being kept here.
Must be cages and pens above. Not come down here.
Which way are those cages?
There's stairs by the temple.
He kind of looks around as if he's confused of which direction. He doesn't know which way to point. Tied up as he is, he couldn't point anyway.
He might have to come with us and show us the way, huh? And I'll
He starts making this distressed noise as you talk about leaving or coming with you, or you're not sure what it is he's afraid of, but the noise sort of continues while you all are talking.
I mean, all his other friends are dead, so I don't see why not.
Well, and there is the other one. You know, the other. I think Millie mentioned that he saw the other goblin sleeping.
Yeah, Millie saw the other goblin asleep. Still.
Or something like, yeah. Not conscious, but seeming to be unhurt.
I'm gonna stealth my way to that one.
Okay.
And I'll just let everyone know what I'm hearing the goblins say if they have any thoughts.
Okay. What is Lokak doing during this? And thank you, Millie. I was about to ask.
Lokag is kind of chilling with his hammer on his shoulder, and he sees this is taken care of, or at least for now. I think he is gonna follow Millie, but not go into the room. And he would also mention to X that there might be some more, a soul for the scales for his god. Feels like he owes him one. He saved his life, so he was like, "Hey, there's you might have another soul in that room over there." And so he's gonna try and kind of make his way up and around, just to the doorway, and not really, not go inside.
All right, so Millie, as you creep closer to the door, Lokag's sort of coming up behind you. The goblin doesn't stir. It's, sort of like swaddled in that carpet and torn tapestry. But you can make out it's tattered and dirty leather armor, a scimitar, and its short bow nearby. But as you come into the room, it looks like they're not so much placed as they maybe tumbled out of the figure's hands. As you move up to the figure, their face is turned away from you. You see a massive bruise on the side of its face and a large lump on the side of its head. Looks like it was knocked out. Well, it did hear some scuffling, fighting, and arguing from the goblins down here.
Interesting. I'll charge off a divine sense just to see if anything else is around.
All right, let's see here. The only fey creatures you sense the slightest tingle from these goblins, from X. But just mortal fey,
Okay, I'm going to inspect this goblin.
You find a few more small slashes. It looks like it was in some sort of scuffle or skirmish. It definitely took... the slash wounds themselves look a little angry and nasty. You think it took some poison slashes. Not sure if that's why it's unconscious.
Breathing?
It is still breathing.
Okay.
Yes, it's still breathing.
Wonderful. I'll just look around the room, see if there's anything interesting left in here. Doesn't sound like there will be.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I will with my 0. Let's go.
All right.
Come on, 12.
A 12. Give me just a moment. You don't notice anything else in this chamber as you're looking around.
I just kind of shrug and go back out towards Lokag and be like, seems that was knocked out, unconscious, weapons not nearby, but nothing in the room left. Leave it to you all, though it seems pretty sad killing a unconscious being like that.
All right. So what is X doing after sort of being restrained and being let go for a moment? Is he still bent on killing this goblin, or what does he do next?
I think he's calmed down now enough to see that there might be value in leaving the goblin alive, and even with the sort of mandate to balance the scales, I don't think X would want to just coup de grace a sleeping goblin. So he's probably just back in exploration mode. He'll start scouting around and see if he sees anything.
Okay. There were a few places that you wanted to check. A couple of rooms where you thought some of the younger or older priests hid some things that might be useful. You know that one of them collected old relics, among them weapons. Another, their job was among the potion makers of the tower, and you knew that they would secret some of them away and sell on their own for coin. So you're looking, think there might be a really nice crossbow in here, and some healing potions.
Nice.
So you can go ahead and
Okay.
make your investigation check, and you can make it with advantage, since you have some ideas of where to look. But you'd looked before the last time you were here, back before everything changed.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you go over, start to go over a couple of chambers, and it's been it's maybe been a while since you've been here, so you're starting to get your bearings, and you figure, I think I started in the wrong chamber. So you don't find anything, but you do feel like you have another place you want to start. Maybe heading back to the stairs and counting your steps, counting the steps of a somewhat younger person. So what about Lokag? You had moved up to the doorway with Millie. What does Lokag do?
I think at this point, Lokang is going to. I think Lokag's intention is to stay by this door and keep an eye on this goblin while they're interrogating the prisoner, but can't help himself. He's going to peek into these two rooms here.
Okay.
The two right here, yeah.
Okay. So as you open those up, Millie had actually opened those doors already, so they're open, and you don't see anything obvious except for just broken furniture, remains of glass from the windows above. Even looks like some of the goblins had climbed up and torn out some of the ceiling panels. But if you want to move in and investigate the chambers, you can go ahead and make that investigation check.
No, he was just gonna look in, but nothing further than that. Yeah, he's gonna stay by this doorway and keep an eye on our unconscious friend, and if he starts to stir, he's gonna charge up and keep him pinned to the ground with his foot with a hammer to the neck and a foot to the stomach.
Okay. Okay, keeping that in mind. Goblin currently is still not stirring. What does Helena do? During all
Was
this?
the goblin speaking a language she could understand?
No, it was speaking Goblin. It was speaking in their tongue, and Cliff speaks Goblin, was speaking to it. I had forgotten for a brief moment and responded to Helena through the Goblin, which wouldn't have happened.
You can assume I'm telling you what it's saying.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of how I interpreted it. But regardless, I'd like her to come up next to the goblin and start making like food gestures, like, yeah, is it good? Like we gonna get some?
All right. Make a persuasion check.
She's like trying to be all buddy with the thing.
Yeah.
But if it's good enough for the rats, she doesn't care if you understand it. If it's good enough for your rats, then it's good enough for me. 13.
Goblin, eyes kind of cock up to you, gives you a suspicious look as you sidle up closer to it. It's bound and somewhat hunched over, so it's looking up at you. You start talking to it, and its brows beetle down as if it's confused. You can tell it doesn't understand what you're saying, but after a minute, it seems to relax anyway, and it laughs as if you've told some sort of joke, or yeah.
she
Yeah.
she laughs with the goblin like I'm making friends. Yeah. Once we're friends, you'll show us how to infiltrate all of your secrets. She laughed back at the goblin again.
So Cliff, you've noticed that the goblin's attention has shifted over, and yeah, it seems now equally wary of Helena and X. It doesn't seem afraid of Helena, but it seems uncertain of what to, it knows it's trying to communicate, but it seems suspicious of whatever she's trying to communicate because it can't understand. It's clearly more comfortable with Helena than it is with X, though.
That's good. Well, yeah, Cliff will kind of, try to translate a little bit, but he'll reassure the goblin. Look, these corrupted, monstrous. I don't know what happened to your friends, but they're a mess, and they're killing us. And they almost killed me. They almost killed him. So you understand why maybe, just maybe, we might be a little nervous about, your kind, because you've been enabling them all this time, letting them get their meat for their masters and all that. So, time for you to stand up and fight back and stop letting them destroy this world that we all live in, right? You live here. What the hell is your problem? Why are you letting them do this?
Here? No. Our home, as you call, from far, far, far from here. Not from here, not from this world.
What do you mean? What the hell world are you from? How many worlds are there?
World of strife. Land of the conqueror and its armies.
What's it called? Name?
It seems confused. World of strife. We just call it world.
All right.
It
Call
is-
it Strife. He says he comes from a world called Strife. So from now on, we'll just refer to it as Strife.
Cool.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Yeah. You think you're different? I mean, just look at this. And he just looks at the rat lady like,
This boy, yeah.
we have a lot more in common. Difference here. So how did you get here? Like, you just came falling out of the sky on a big rock?
Masters. Sent by conqueror. Sent with bosses and goblins. Sent for big power, a big holy mission, holy reason. Too secret and powerful for me. Only bosses and masters know. Some sorcerers may have found out for themselves.
He shakes his head, though. He does not know. At least it seems that way. Doesn't seem to be lying. So as you all, question this goblin, and some of you begin to spread out and begin going room to room, searching over the place to see what else you can find. I think this is a good spot to take a short break. Does that sound all right with you all?
Awesome.
Excellent. I'm going to grab some water and grab some more snacks, and I will be back in just a few. I hope y'all are having a good time, because I definitely am, and I'll be back in just a few. Heck yeah. Yeah.
Be back 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Who's staying? Because I do need to get
Yeah, I
Go
could
ahead.
stay.
Okay.
Anybody staying with me?
I'll stay with you. I just refreshed my coffee whilst waiting.
Woo! Super goblins. Dear
Man,
Lord.
I don't. Like, we just took a long rest. I already want one again. Can we take another?
Yeah, I mean, bless and a healing word, and I'm done. That's all my first level spell slots.
I feel your pain. That's how I felt as a sorcerer on another game. But yeah, like, I think I have 1, 2 maybe spell slots as this character. Let's see, 2. So yeah, luckily I didn't use any of my spells, but I only have five possible points of healing left. So
Yeah. I think if we take a short rest and use our hit dice for the day, but yeah, I'm feeling like, man, I didn't get any armor when we were in town because
oh man,
the role playing kind of never allowed it.
yeah.
So I gotta pick up like a
as
breastplate and a shield.
I was gonna say, as your domain, medium armor and shields, or anything heavier.
Yeah, with cleric, when you multi-class into cleric, you can get medium armor, but that's it. That's all I get.
Yep.
I won't
Right.
get
No
heavy.
shields.
I don't.
Yep. Or
Yeah,
heavy.
I've got a lot of dexterity on X. He's got 16 dex, so he's never going to want too heavy of armor.
Yeah. You might not even want breastplate. I don't. It.
Breastplate doesn't interfere with stealth.
Right, but studded leather and breastplate are going to be exactly the same, and studded leather's cheaper, I think. Plus, if you keep putting your dex up, you'll get better AC with studded leather than dex.
Isn't studded leather just 2?
So it's 3 on your dex because light armor. So it takes your whole dex modifier.
With breastplate, I could get 4 plus 2, so I'd have 16. I think with studded leather, I'd only have 15.
Your dex is currently +3?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just did this on another character, and I had the same breastplate.
I think the studded leather was 2, so it would be 2 plus 3. And the breastplate would be 4 plus 2. I think. I mean, if the studded leather is
breastplate's
3.
14, standalone 14 plus your is going to give you 14 AC plus 2, so 16. Whereas studded leather, there's so many things now. Studded leather armor standard would give you 15. So you'd get 1 more with breastplate. So you get 15 with studded leather, 16 with breastplate, which all the AC matters.
Yep.
I say in my chain shirt and shield.
Yeah, I think if we can get some stuff and go back to town, we can probably do a pretty good restock run.
Yeah, we just need to get something to sell. Something worth something to sell, preferably,
Something from that for that smith to smith into
armor of somebody's. Currently, I have some small uncut gems. Maybe they're worth something. Pouch on the neck of coins. Maybe that's something. A half-burned stone wand. Maybe somebody wants that. I don't know.
We got some goblin weapons too, or hobgoblin weapons. We got some stuff from that early stuff that Lokag shoved in his pack.
That's true. I think there's some scimitars and light crossbows. But that could be more like arming. That might have to arm the civilians. A goblin slave might be worth something in chat. I mean, I was thinking it, but I wasn't going. My character would not suggest it.
I don't think the city's going to be too much into that.
Yeah.
It's likely there's going to be a lot of angry glances turned toward the goblin if he comes back into square, and you might have to spend your rest guarding it. Might be a good amount of anger toward him.
You might have to, even so, you might have to spend your rest guarding it from X. I'm not
Fair enough.
You'll be severely judged by Millie, but that's about it. She's not going to stop that.
I hope that wasn't too awkward, DM, but X, he got the mandate to
No,
the
I think that was wonderful. I love that. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but no, not at all.
No, I'm pretty sure he would go all in on that.
Yeah, that made perfect sense. Absolutely. I love
it wasn't meant
like
to
that.
be though. My God, my athletics is so bad.
You almost got out of Lokag's grip. You know, highest bidder gets the goblin. There's our chat is helping us raise some money here, guys.
Oh, nice.
Highest bidder gets the goblin. I like that. You know, we can, oh wait, I'm not playing my changeling sorcerer. We have to be good people, damn it.
It's like those charity auctions, though, right? Where you can like buy somebody for a day for charity.
A day, forever, eternity, as we kill them because we hate goblins. You know.
Win a date with what is the goblin's name? Do we know have a name?
You haven't asked.
I'm gonna ask.
And a cliff, know your manners.
Win a date with
With Goblin Captive number 2.
Random Goblin 07.
Yeah.
I bid 1 bit. Fantastic.
I hear there are talks of commerce. No one better be thinking about selling my hat.
No, they're just goblins, apparently.
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea.
I could trade your hat for armor. I'd probably go for it.
No. This hat is everything. It's why I'm alive, I think. Lokag knows all about lucky hats.
I love
By the
this
lack
hat.
of having one.
Magic fashion you.
No, I have a big rat hat on my head. From Rat Hat Lady.
It ain't
Huh?
lucky though, buddy.
You really
got a
emphasize the
rat
tail or the head. Like, how
I'm
raccoon
still
hat
alive,
style
aren't I?
is this thing?
Yeah, well, the way I imagined it, the front of it, you know, has like the little face, right? It kind of like points down a little V, like a, you know, oh, I can't remember what that's called when someone has that point. And then,
Widow's
and
Peak.
then, Widow's Peak, thank you.
Yeah.
And then of course it's round and it's got the little legs that stick off here, probably around the ears, and then the back legs stick out. And of course it's got a tail. That's the fanciest part.
Just like
That's
a
why that hat
loaded
is
rat
so
that just it's on your head.
It's like the possum hat from a Goofy movie.
Yeah. Yes.
I do have a chest set. Shh.
Somebody's been looking someone's character shape.
Yeah, someone. Yeah. Jar Jar's on top of it.
I forgot I had
You know, if you
my
take
character
the,
sheet.
if you take the investigator background, you get a 100 gold piece magnifying glass. Very useful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very quickly sell that and buy yourself something useful.
It is a silly, especially because like mechanically, I don't think a lot of people actually use it for advantage on investigation checks, just because.
Right. It
Yeah.
only works
Make a whole-
looking at something like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's a very limited item. It's worth a lot though.
I like
So-
Tex the Goblin. That's a fun name.
You know what nobody gets?
Ew,
50
taxi
gold.
rat chest sets. Ew.
A lot of very small rats as chest pieces. Oh man.
I'm just having fun thinking of like the pose for like the knight and the bishop and
It's
you know.
got a little sword. Ah.
is he riding it? Is he riding a little horse or is he riding another little mouse? I got questions, you know.
The little priest rats with their little priest hats.
The bishops,
I love it.
tower heads.
The king and queen, of course. Yeah, absolutely. King and queen in their finery.
Gets arrows.
He's riding a cockroach.
Ginormous cockroach.
That's a big
Although-
ass cockroach. Yeah.
You can find him. You know, I mean, where do you think Helena gets most of her protein from? It's not rat meat.
Well,
Rats.
I'm sorry.
Why
I
did
was
I
stepping
make
on your
this?
character there. That's.
All those crickets.
Oh
no,
man.
she probably would. I mean, she's willing to eat goblin rations, so.
You know, I have rations in my bag that are like made for us.
What? What?
Yeah.
Ah!
They throw me a ration.
She looks at it,
Just drip
looks back at you, and
meats
stares
and
at you while she
cheeses.
eats it. Crumbs falling, and she doesn't break her gaze.
Oh man. Good times. Well, you all ready to jump back into it?
Yeah.
I think we
Alright.
have.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Already there.
Already plotting, it seems like, yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
for the next few moments, or for the next part of the scene, anyone who's searching, that anyone who wants to search the area can go ahead and make sort of one general investigation check for the whole area, and provided information is shared by X and you ask people to look in a certain place, that might be able to give them advantage on that, but that's up to X to communicate that.
X wants everybody looking.
So what does X say? What does he tell them? He's trying to describe this certain room. There's this layout, a certain spot, a cleft of a buttress meeting a wall. Remember that there were it was a mahogany headboard, and so somewhat complicated. So I'm curious what X says, how he gets that across.
Oh, he's not going to say nearly that much. He'll say, hidden potions are somewhere.
I love it.
I could use one of those.
All right, so starting back off with
Help
the.
me
Go ahead.
find them.
Okay.
I'll help, and I'll have the goblin make himself useful. I'll keep him on a leash and have him kind of sniff around and help.
All right, so you attach a rope to the small goblin.
I'll loosen them up, though. I'll give him a smile and say, we're gonna be friends. And then I'll pull out something delicious, just something really yummy that he might want to eat. Maybe he's never even eaten this food because he's from another planet. And I'll
Right.
take a delicious bite of this juicy, whatever my rations are. We'll say it's an apple. He takes a nice, delicious apple bite. Oh, it's so good. And he throws it over to Helena. Hey, apple for you.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Now make yourself useful. And he pulls the goblin along and goes hunting around.
So at first you say the word friend in his language, which he looks angrily at you and kind of suspicious. When you pull out the food and some of the smell reaches him, that look sort of melts off his face, and he spends the rest of the time watching the apple wherever it goes for several minutes. He looks back.
Toss it around to the whole group so everyone gets a bite.
He's very much like looking at it, and then he turns another look back to you. It's a very sour look. Small, disheveled goblin hisses,
Fine.
sort of slumps along. Unless I misheard you, you didn't give the apple. He's just like kind of showing it to him. And you all
apple yet. No, he doesn't get an apple.
Right, okay.
I'm taunting him with the apple.
Right.
I'm being a jerk about it.
You can make an insight check.
Okay, good. My insight's better than any of my charisma skills.
Okay, nice.
17?
He does not believe you. This goblin is not at all convinced. He believes that you will not give him an apple, and that you are just being a jerk.
Okay, that's fine. I'm still gonna drag him along.
Right.
I'm gonna look for some stuff. You can just sit there and make yourself useless and get nothing. That's fine. If that's how they do things in your world. In my world, it's a meritocracy. You don't think I got here with all these scars without,
Fine. Fine, I said fine.
Rasped the goblin. Still doesn't believe you, but he's sort of shuffled a few paces ahead and seems willing to move forward.
Yeah, grudgingly.
Yeah, it makes tries to sniff it, kicks around at some stuff, taps, sort of kicks its long toenailed feet, tapping at the wall to see if it's wooden panel here or there. But it doesn't seem to, it seems to have torn through some stuff already, and
All right.
It doesn't seem to be all that much help. It doesn't know where anything is at. It doesn't seem to find anything for you. But he does try. He just doesn't think he's going to get an apple either way.
And I'd like to aid Helena. I'm going to say that apple is like an aid roll.
Okay.
So you have a little advantage on your rolls. Because I suck in investigation. So, Helena, you're going to be double awesome.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So, Millie, do you make a check or do you do something else?
Yeah, upon X's persistence and us all checking somewhere, I'll take a look. That is a straight roll.
He maybe, yeah. If you watch him, he doesn't really say anything or direct you to any particular place.
All right, I'll just look around. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Do better than I expected. A 16.
Okay. All right, give me just a moment. Okay. There is... So, the floor is made of large mosaics, individual cut pieces of marble. One of these pieces that was what you think underneath the headboard of the bed is not... Like, the grout has been long ago picked away. There's a loose, basically, panel of stone. I'm surprised that the goblins didn't find it, but maybe not so surprised, because you had to rake your fingers over it to feel the seam with your fingernail. It was very carefully done. It'd be hard to grab with your fingers, but using your thieves' tools, you could probably stick the metal shims down to the thin slots and pry the panel up.
So I'll do that.
Doesn't look like too hard of a task, something type of thing you've done before. Should be fairly easy, actually.
Excellent. I'll take out my thieves' tools and start getting it pried up.
Okay.
I assume you'd like a check for that.
Yeah, just whenever you get a moment.
Alright. That's only a 9, unfortunately.
That's
you know
okay.
what? I'll burn my advantage here.
Okay.
Because why not? Can be better. Too many pushes of the button. 21.
Nice. Okay. You easily slide the triangular piece of blue marble out of place. It's pretty thin. Looks like the back of it was also shaved down, but as you look at it, it's sort of smooth, almost rippled. You think it may have been done with magic, perhaps reshaped. But inside is a deep space. There's something rather large wrapped in leather that was, oiled leather. As you start to grab onto it, it feels decently heavy.
Excellent. And I'll start pulling it out of there.
Okay. You pull out, as you pull it up, you're maybe a third of the way up, and you can tell it's the stock of a crossbow. As you pull it out and untie the strips of leather, it's a crossbow. It's not assembled. The bow and the stock are side by side. There's no string. There's no crossbow bolts. The whole thing is clasped in thin silver plating, and every inch of it has been worked in relief scroll work. It's nothing particular. It's just vines and small flowers. As you look closely, you see a honeybee or a butterfly, but they're very small. It's essentially just it's a light crossbow. The proportions of it are, but every inch of it, except for the steel bow itself, are covered in that silver and are worked with designs. Around the trigger and in the bolt slide, where you set in the crossbow bolt, are marked a series of finely scrolled or carved runes. It's you don't have any sense of whether it's magical or if so what it does. need to be put together first. But again, there's no string for it. And as you look at it, there's no place for the crossbow cable to even attach to the bow itself.
I'll wrap it back up. See, just tie it back off and plop it into my pouches. It's like, okay.
If Cliff sees this, he'll be interested. Just as a collector, he'll be like, So
It's a fine
don't hide
piece.
it. He'll be like, want to look at it.
All right. All right. So next in the order then is X. As you are looking around, you can go ahead and make another check with advantage as well. So just be a general check on going through and kicking what seem like places in each chamber that seem to correspond with your memories.
I'll cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Go ahead and see that D4. Okay.
16.
All right. Now, do you start on the left-hand side of the chamber or the right-hand side of the... I mean, overall, this floor. Do you start on the right-hand or the left-hand side?
Wherever my memory would say that the potions are.
Okay. So you start toward the left, and you indeed find... checking my notes here. You find 3 potions of healing. And you find 2 scrolls. It is a piece of the wall casement, or the baseboard. It's not the base stone. That sort of is the bottom cap of the wall. Covers the edges of the tile. A section of that has been cut to lift away, like sliding it up and out of place. And there's a cubby hole inside the wall. You find a small scroll case with 2 scrolls, and these the 3 potions sort of bound by a leather thong, all in one bundle. The leather has been sort of twisted and wrapped around and worked back into a handle, so you could grab all 3 of them at once. All right. What is Lokak doing during all this? Does he search around, or you're watching the Goblin, or what else? What is Lokak doing?
So he's certainly watching the Goblin, but on X's insistence, he'll check the adjacent rooms and do a bit more of a thorough search.
Okay.
Can I just walk around guidancing people? That's my-
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god. Beautiful thing about guidance.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, a 14 investigation.
All right. Let's see.
You should look here.
All right. So as you're searching around one of the window casements itself, like the bottom of the sill, you find that a section of this can be slid out of place, and there's a small opening around, or just below the broken window itself. Inside it is there's 2 objects. One is what looks like a war horn. It seems to be steel and brass, if you had to guess. There's also a pouch. Metal sort of clatters against itself. Might be a coin. Might be there's some coins. There might be a ring or a stone or something else in there. As you open it up, there's a ring, what looks like a small ruby, and 6 platinum pieces. I'm sorry, 16 platinum pieces.
We're so rich.
Excellent.
The ring is
Okay.
a stylized ear and a hand, as if someone's, and a mouth. It's all sort of worked together. It's like someone whispering into somebody's ear. Strange and almost comical looking carving. There's no stones or inscriptions.
Are you saying it's an ear ring?
It might be, sir. It just might be.
Lokag will bring out what he finds, and he's gonna hand off the. He's gonna keep the pouch with the platinum.
Okay.
And the war horn as well, but he's going to pass the ring over to someone who's more. He knows that rings can contain power. He wants to hand it off to someone more arcane inclined to see if they could make anything of it. See if there's anything special about it other than the engravings in the ruby.
All right. So who do you hand it to?
Let's see. I guess I'm gonna hand it off to. I guess I'll present it to the group and see if who has does this ring anything special?
Huh. Well, I think X just answered.
X, you can definitely see an aura of magic around it. You can make an Arcana check or a Religion check. Just to study the aura
if it
of.
rained, it's like, oh yes, that's just blah blah blah.
All right. So as you look at it, you look at the very sort of awkward and comical image that is worked out of the ring, and immediately this is like a ring that does something like the message cantrip. And then as you study the aura itself, and begin to sort of see some of the structure of magic, that confirms your suspicions. Dump stat for the win.
As the person with dark vision, I feel like I'm going to be out front a lot, so I would like the ring if nobody else wants it.
I think that's a good idea.
Scout should have it so they can tell us what's going on.
It doesn't fit my finger.
Just tell us it's not magical. Don't tell us it's magical. Just be like, oh, that's cute. I'll just, it's not that big a deal, and put it on. None of us know.
X will put it on and just start whispering guidance to everyone.
Nice.
You're gonna start backseat driving everything we're doing. Hey, you should probably find that guy.
And just to be clear, Lokag told everyone about the platinum pieces. He's just tucking it into his belt. That's all.
Great.
So he's not hiding it.
Helena watched that the entire time. He knows where it is.
I do want X to check out
Fair
that bow too. I mean, that seems like an interesting piece. And we need a short rest as well. I hope we can get a short rest in.
I'll pull back out the crossbow and just kind of see if X can notice if it's magical or anything affecting it.
Yes. It has. You're certain that there's a simple enchantment. Mechanically, probably +1. But you think it has a conjuration ability to summon its own arrows. And you think those arrows are energy and not physical. Or maybe something in between. But you can make an Arcana check for that to get more specific information.
I want to know the history. What's the history behind it?
Does X make that, or is Millie making
right.
that?
I
I
think
think that'd be you because you're the one seeing the magic on it.
You're the decider. Ooh.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a conjuration effect, and it's summoning what you think are going to be radiant crossbow bolts.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, that's real nice. Do we have a sense of the make? Does he know where it comes from? Is it from a maker, or from Elvenkind, or from know anything like that?
He doesn't. Looking at it, though, you all can make a history check, or I think insight would also work here. I use that for a few different things. Okay. You think it looks to be human manufacture, the style of it, but it's definitely the decoration that's been laid over it is definitely inspired by like Feywild imagery and the the sort of art from the original days of Haven.
We're all rocking the insights here. I'm feeling it, everybody. We're all feeling it. Are you feeling it? This is a beautiful piece of work, right? This is the magic. This is the light in the center of all things. This beautiful thing.
It was obviously forged, or at least enchanted, using the flame of Bridget.
Oh.
Nice. It was definitely touched by upstairs.
Clifford holds onto his pistol a little bit. Starts considering some things.
All right.
Well, that's real nice. Who wants to take? Got a
I would
problem?
love to replace what I'm using. I hold up the light crossbow of a hobgoblin
Yeah.
with this, if no one else is going to be better at using it.
Well, yeah, I happen to be a specialist in bows. She boasts her minimal, but still present experience. I have this fighting style archery thing for a ranger.
Yeah, so you're really good at your chance to hit is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Works for me. You can also take this heavy crossbow if you want.
All right.
Either one of you, if X wants, I don't know who wants it, but the heavy, I can use my pistol. And there's probably extra crossbows laying
Heavy's a
around.
martial.
Heavy's
Martial, right? Yeah. So
Only
I
I
don't
can
know.
heavy.
I think
Is that not
you,
the
Helena,
same
myself. No, it's not the same. So light crossbows, I'm pretty sure, are simple.
Oh, Helena's a ranger.
Yeah, they are.
She's
Yeah,
martial.
so Helena could use martial. I can. Locad can. I don't think I don't think.
Yep.
Yeah, Marshall?
Death
That's right.
Death Cleric for
Cleric.
random.
Oh
users.
yeah,
Martial
nice.
weapons.
Yep. We
Nice.
can all use martial. Look at that. We are a versatile party.
Nice.
Yeah, if Helena wants to take the heavy crossbow, I'm good with. Might break out my pistol next time. And X, if you want to take the lighter magic one, I'm good with that.
It's the party. What's the party thing?
I think Helena gets it. Helena gets it because she's going to be shooting every turn. That's her job.
Yeah,
Give the weapon to the
Yeah.
person who makes most use of it. Yeah.
We have to put it together. Is anyone skilled in that effect?
I actually do have Tinker's tools.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully,
How do I add it to my sheet?
So just add a +1 crossbow, and we'll add a few things to it.
Okay.
You'll hit the setting.
Light crossbow +1.
Yeah.
to make a raw d20 roll. I think it's +5. 24. I got almost
Nice.
the perfect roll
What does this check for?
to put the thing together.
Oh, fantastic.
I want to just basically assume, oh yeah, this is clearly a model 37-2A. It was like the one 4 years ago. I like the one before, but they added some new features here. It's pretty nice. And he starts like going. I assume he knows like how to put it together.
Yes, absolutely. All the parts are still there.
Slaps-
Everything's been well maintained and oiled. Go ahead, X. Sorry.
This is a beautiful beast, and he gets a little kind of over. He probably explains a little bit about the care and use of it, even though Helena obviously knows how to use these things. But he's like extra like, oh, and don't pull too hard on it. Right? It's magic string. It's not like your regular kind of string, so you don't know what's going to come out of it. He'll do his best to sort of, hand it off to Helena and make sure they've got everything they need.
The light or the hand?
Light.
Okay.
Light. Mm-hmm.
But it's magic.
Yeah. And once you have it on your character sheet, you can hit the settings cog up in your attacks and spellcasting, and then change the damage from piercing to radiant.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Do I just type that in?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
X, you
it's not a
can't use
drop
light.
down.
You can't use martial, right, X?
Can.
You're-
Death cleric, yeah.
Oh, well then, take my large. Take the large crossbow from me.
Heavy crossbow for X.
Magical or just plain?
Plain old.
Hey.
I like to get in. I mean, tangle a little bit, you know. I'll take the light. All right.
So as they hand this crossbow over to Helena, was Helena searching anywhere else, or was she following along, helping?
Yeah.
What does Helena do?
You didn't get your search roll yet for Helena.
She's definitely looking for signs of rats, as always. She's obnoxiously eating her apple and staring at the goblin a lot as she does. Yeah, that's so. Any signs of rats, or anything else that might be of interest? Can I roll for that?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check or a perception check, depending on where you're looking. If you're looking for small and like secreted away things, then that would be, of course, investigation. If you're listening for general noises and trying to spot things that are moving or hiding, then that would be perception.
I'm gonna go with perception because, she's more interested in harassing this goblin.
Okay. It's definitely
Whoa.
eyeballing you, sort of every time you look up, it just stares at you and then looks away.
I think I rolled a 22.
Yeah, nice. So nothing else of note in any of the chambers, but as you're sort of circling the chamber, you can hear sounds coming in through the different windows. And you can hear off to the west a shrill, rhythmic singing, as if someone's making short, simple rhymes, singing in a screeching voice. It sounds like the old woman on the island. From what you think is the north, you begin to hear that sort of sharp, high-pitched and biting chant. What you think of the direction of the shrine you all had heard before. The shrine that this goblin recently told you about, where good goods might be stored, and also near which stairs are that will take you up to the next level of the stone.
Oh, that's where we're going.
And you can also hear, luckily you're out of shot, but you can look up through the windows to the east, and you can see hobgoblins and something else, some large. You can make a arcana or history check for Helena. It looks something like a goblin, but it's much larger and much meaner looking,
That 20.
and much hairier. Oh, yeah, it's a bugbear.
Oh my.
There's more than one. And legend tells you about bugbears. They're not something that probably you all may have met goblins in this world, but to be clear, you all have never seen bugbears. It's unlikely, unless you've ranged really far out, that you've dealt with hobgoblins. They're exceedingly rare. Goblins are more common. But you know them at least from fairy tales, legends, and the myths of Arabelle. And yeah, they're known to be stalkers of the night and stranglers, expert if somewhat lazy assassins and ambush fighters.
Expert lazy assassins, I like that.
So it
Not
seems
for me right now, but in general, it's
It's
amusing.
your kind of people.
with that 22, you count another squad of hobgoblins, 8 of them, and you saw at least 3 bugbears up on that cliff.
Right. So she reports back to her group, and with large eyes, she tells them what she has seen.
Say we go west. They won't be able to see us.
I need a nap.
Yeah, I don't know if we can nap here, huh?
I'm not doing much better myself.
Maybe down by that glowy thing.
Perhaps we
The flame
take a
beckons
step
us.
into the flame.
Oh, you mean to heal us?
I believe it should restore something to us.
God damn it. Cliff will begrudgingly agree to do this because he's in pain.
I too don't want to take any sleeping or resting yet. It seems like we are pretty open targets to anything that might come and get us.
Look, I believe you. If it's safe there, we better go.
Cliff, the flame is not so bad. It's not even hot.
Yeah, all right. You know, you guys are okay. I'm sorry. Just be nice to the goblin. X, don't kill the goblin, please.
Be nice.
Yeah, you know, Elena, he seems to like you.
Well, I don't see why he wouldn't. She continues to eat the apple haughtily.
Might like her a little less now.
As soon as the goblin does anything useful, I will definitely throw him a treat. But I'm waiting for him to be useful.
He may be trying to. He's tied up and he's not as observant probably and as you are, and certainly wasn't thinking to look under or inside the walls necessarily. The most helpful thing he's able to do really is tell you where he searched or where he saw others searching. And he would say things like,
Migna, search there. Nothing. Or, I searched, nothing.
and that's where X finds the potions in that chamber.
Alright. You get some credit then. I'll give him some scraps.
So we've got two goblins. We've got the one that surrendered, and also the one that's knocked out. Did we ever decide what we're doing with the knocked out one?
It is not awoken
Leave
yet.
him. Leave him.
No, we haven't.
Could eat him. No, I'm kidding.
I say you leave
Kidding. I have
him.
no idea.
You could ask the goblin we're with. You know, the one there, he's sleeping or something. What happened to him? Be a friend of yours.
Arch enemy.
If you take him into the room, it spits.
Migna.
It spits again. Migna, it names the other goblin. Migna.
Oh, not a fan, huh?
Stupid.
What did Migna do?
Looks up at you.
Look at her.
Or look at him. Spits the goblin.
Got knocked out. Argued with the Betezu.
He gestures toward the other goblins with the lights in their eyes, calling these the Betezu. And that's when you all note at this point that those corpses are decomposing very quickly. I mean, all things considered. They're not puddles of goo, but the smell has progressed quite quickly. And they're becoming quite messy. Some dark, gleaming green fluid is pooling around them as it's maybe leaching out of their body.
I say we get the hell out of here.
Indeed, I think we avoid that. Maybe ask your friend where those ones come from.
Yeah, he'll be like, you think we should go? I'll look at the guy and just get an insight on him and just be like, we should probably go now, yeah?
Goblin shrugs.
Dead now. No fear. Dead now.
Alright, well, let's go. Let's get out of here. This place gives me the creeps. I'm ready to go into the light.
The goblin freezes, looking up at you. He points up the stairs, as if to ask, "Oh, you're taking me up there?"
Is that where the light is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goblin takes a deep breath and
Fine.
says
Yeah, I
through
don't like
gritted
it
teeth,
either. He's like, yeah, I mean, but these guys say it's okay, so I'm gonna try it. All right.
Yeah. All right.
I think being the one to suggest it, Millie probably led the way
Yeah, we'll follow you.
back up there.
Okay.
Are we leaving that knocked out goblin?
It's up to you all if you want to bring him.
X really does not want to leave a knocked out goblin because that's a goblin we have to fight later.
So Loka,
He's a super villain.
He's an ally.
if nobody's doing anything different, Lokag's gonna go to that knocked out goblin before we go upstairs, tie his hands, and throw him over his shoulder,
Yeah, I think
carrying him
that's
up there with us.
All right.
good. I think,
Why
Hold on
have
just a-
one when you can have two?
Fair.
yeah.
All right.
And he fought back against the weird, creepy goblin, so you got to give him some.
That's what Lokag's thinking. He's like,
Right,
if
he's like,
this
you're a
if
fighter.
this guy's arguing, yeah, if we have to pick between these two goblins, Lokag's picking the knocked out goblin.
Yeah,
Just
hey.
saying.
I think that's honor code right there. Good stuff.
Death's better than slavery.
He has a point. Perhaps we only take one?
Come on, this
Where's the
they
fun in
don't
that?
belong here. They don't belong here.
Okay, all right. Lokag's just kind of like, all right.
This is what they
He
call
feels-
a charm offensive.
What are Millie's thoughts?
Millie agrees with X that death is better, but that like these things are not exactly super threatening. At least these ones. The other ones were certainly much more threatening.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that was unconscious didn't wake up for a whole battle, and a screaming, insane goblin.
Well, he's knocked out.
Yeah, like it's probably got brain trauma or something.
Well, and also, Clifford does have in his
I don't like
background
him.
like an affinity with the goblin race and those people, and he understands that there are many of them that there's a rich culture he appreciates about the goblin, and it makes him very sad to see them corrupted like this. So I think he feels a little bit more of the nuance of this and wants to align with the ones that aren't possessed by whatever force is messing them all up. I think that's what he's seeing is this sort of superstitious, like, oh, that magic, creepy stuff. I don't like it. But you're okay.
Interesting. I like how that potentially creates an interesting dynamic between Clifford and X
Yeah, he's a
going
little bit
forward
more-
in the module. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Good.
So as you all are ascending the stair, and Clifford, you've handed this crossbow, you handed the light crossbow over to Helena. X now has the heavy crossbow. So Elena, how does she react to this? Getting this, it's covered in plated silver. It's looks like it belongs in a museum or up on some fancy person's mantle. You know, how does she react to getting this gift from the temple?
I think she feels perhaps the first pingings, given all the events that have happened recently. First pingings or the idea of something that may have been called fate. She feels though she's destined for this item, and also it's probably the prettiest, nicest thing she's ever seen next to her hat, of course.
Fair.
And I think that she's going to cling to this thing for dear life. It's very special to her already.
It is
Yeah.
quite a fine
Try it
gift.
out. I mean, you can try it out. Shoot that thing. And I'll point to one of the, the murals on, the carpets on the wall. I recommend it.
She does just that, aims it recklessly and shoots it.
I want to see what it does. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a gun nut.
As you depress the trigger, it has the same resistance as if there was a drawn string and a loaded bolt. It gives the same click. The bow stock in your arm gives the same sort of lurching motion as if a string was snapping forward and shunting off force behind a massive crossbow bolt. But what comes out is a solid shaft of white light. It is as thin as the arrow itself, and it's there for a split second and vanishes. It will certainly give away your position, but usually, mechanically, attacking always does anyway. So mechanically it doesn't change anything, but it might alter Helena's reaction to the item. But in either case, it burns a perfectly small circular hole in the tapestry and scores the wall behind it.
Nice.
That's a beauty there.
I like that. That's real nice. I think we'll need a name for this bow. It'll come. Perhaps the name of my first kill with it. Or the look on their face. I like that.
Trepidation. That's a good gosh.
Surprise and frustration.
Yeah.
That'd be the fun.
Futility.
I call this one helplessness. All right.
This bow is really cool.
And it gets brighter as you ascend the stairs. The goblin on its rope, sort of, its head turning away, its eyes shrinking. It seems to try to hide itself in Cliff's shadow, as to hide from some of the light. But despite perhaps its fears, it doesn't burn to a crisp when the light of, oh goodness, wrong place, Bridget's flame strikes its features. There is a soft sound that escapes the goblin's lips.
Oh. Oh.
It looks around. It's still squinting as if it's almost painfully bright. But the look on its jaw kind of slackens and it seems in awe. It does not go beyond the pillars. It stops and drops to its knees.
So bright. So bright.
It tries to look directly at it. It seems to hurt the goblin's eyes. It turns its eyes away and kind of does this over several minutes. It keeps like struggling to look at it as if it's incredibly beautiful and the goblin's eyes are drawn to it. But its eyes perhaps are unsuited to such bright light. It seems to be
Just like
slow
eclipse.
to adapt. Perhaps. Like, it doesn't burn your eyes. You can look right in it. There's no after images or anything.
I'm gonna stop torturing the goblin and let him go over into a corner and look away. I feel bad for the guy.
It doesn't move. It seems to continue to try to struggle looking at or around the light. It does seem
It sounds
relieved.
like he's
He's
Go
having
ahead.
fun, I guess.
That sounds like he's trying to achieve this thing. Yeah, interesting.
It kind of gives up for a moment and starts looking at the moving scenery on the walls, the forest scene, and the seasons chasing themselves around. It looks at the flowing of the pillars, and again, doesn't burst into flame, but it seems to be having trouble adapting to this bright light. But it does seem to be curious about it or drawn toward it somehow. Now, the last thing that you all notice as you all, come into the chamber is that this small goblin has begun sweating intensely. That foul smell of rotten milk that you were smelling when you killed these goblins, it seems to be wafting off from the figure.
Is the same thing happening to Lokag's little
Goblin?
package?
Yes. It's unconscious, has not woken up, but it does start to sweat.
Move the map on stream real quick.
Oh goodness, yes I can.
Thank you.
Millie will walk forward
Sorry, gang.
and enter the flames. As
Alright.
her vision, dream thing seemed to suggest.
Okay. As you step into the flame, you breathe it in, and you can feel heat, but no pain comes with it. It's heat that should be overwhelming. It's as if you could feel yourself being burned by the fire without the pain, if that makes sense. And your flesh isn't consumed. You can look down and see the fire sort of limbing your slender forearms and fingers. And you can see it seeming to, like the fire, flow down into scrapes and wounds and seems to burn them away, as if it's just detritus on the surface of your skin, burned away by inner fire.
Is it due to the crossbow hole in my side, I assume?
That burning seems most intense there, and you almost wince expecting pain, but instead you are healed for 11 hit points.
I will step out of the flame fully healed.
As Millie steps back out, there's something different about Millie's appearance. There seem to be flecks of gold fire in her irises. Highlights, that maybe weren't noticed or were sort of dim in her dreaded hair seem to stand out in a sort of auburn gold color. Her skin, too, seems to have a thin metallic sheen of gold. It's very faint, and you probably wouldn't notice it if the bright light weren't sort of around her as she is stepping out of the flame. As she steps out, the other goblin, unnamed goblin you haven't gotten their name yet, makes another soft sigh. Now, Cliff, make a perception check. It says this very softly, so you may not hear it. It sort of breathes the word.
11.
All right, 11's good enough.
Boss.
Boss?
Boss. The goblin looking at Millie stepping out of the flame, a golden sheen to her hair, flesh, and eyes, having survived this miraculous fire, at least from the goblin's perspective. The goblin is basically accepted Millie as its boss.
Hey, Millie, I think they like you. He'll inform Millie that this creature seems to like you.
It does seem like it could be useful somewhere. Why do you think it likes me?
It said that you were his boss. Maybe it's looking into the light. I don't know. See, I told you you're a cult. Look at that. He just looked in the light and he's like, I still don't know about this.
I make an insight check?
Yeah.
Or just a radical assumption?
On what? Yeah.
That their bosses are of more of a tinged skin personages. Maybe some sort of elemental or divinely touched beings. But I'll insight it anyway.
Okay.
Only a 10.
Helena wanted to be a boss.
Yeah. You can either help Millie or make your own check.
I want her to run into the fire.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So, yeah.
I'm gonna be so sad if this only works on good oriented people.
We'll find out.
Who
Well,
says I'm evil?
so that insight tells you, well, yeah, that the goblin definitely breathed the word boss, in at least this time, in the same tones that it said the word masters or conqueror, at least. that is, because Cliff's translating for you, but you heard the tone, and you're sort of just matching tones, and there's the same sort of tone of reverence there. So there may be something to that.
If I let him off the rope, what does he do?
Nothing. Not right now at the moment.
All right.
He watches as Helena dashes toward the fire. Her fate, from Millie's perspective, uncertain. And I think that's where we're going to pause for the session.
Ooh. Right.
Yeah, excellent. So, as our heroes have finally, as they've finally, they managed to find some of the things that X hoped was still there, to finally best some of the, a whole group of enemies within the stone after their first long rest. Now with some better gear, some healing potions, and some unexplored or unexamined scrolls. 2 new goblin friends, perhaps? Not at the moment enemies, in their current state. So our heroes are now back in the lighted sanctuary of Brigid. And they still, whatever happens next session, to get back home, to get back to the light, to get back to the square, they'll have all of this to move back through. And now the bowels of the stone seem to be awake, somewhat aware of them. So, while our heroes have a brief respite after their, a first solid victory within the stone itself, the future of our heroes is, as always, uncertain. And we'll have to find out what happens to them next time on Goblin Stone, Session 9. Y'all. All right. Well, this was a really fun session, y'all. Session 8 in the can, as it were. Good little bit of combat, a little bit of exploration. Got some loot, some altercations between characters, some dynamics starting to show themselves, which would promise to be very interesting in the future. So, oh yeah, and I like to everybody getting a chance to introduce themselves and stuff at the beginning of the session. That was fun. But yeah, so I think to wrap it up this session, we'll do kind of a standard thing that we do. Just check in with everybody and see what any standout moments were, or something they're really looking forward to next session, something they're excited about, something they're worried about, anything. Clifford, would you like to go first?
Sure, yeah. I do really love the idea that we have a minion that we collected and that we decided to, maybe not just kill every single goblin. We're starting to learn the difference between the possessed, awful, necrotic, weird goblins and the nice ones that want to be like us, I guess. Or we're all becoming like this fire cult. But maybe the fire cult's better than dying to the slimy cult. So, yeah.
I mean, if you had to choose.
What's that?
I said, if you had to choose.
Yeah, and I'm neutral, right? I'm novel neutral, so it's hard for me to go hard either way, but I'm definitely getting pulled here by all my friends. So I do love the tug and pull of dark and light and corrupted and holy. There's some fun dynamics going on with just the I'm enjoying this. This is fun.
That is the best news and the best words a DM and fellow players, I think, can hear. So thanks for that, Nick. It's always a good time playing with you. Well, let's jump across the screen and check in with Pon Pon.
Yeah.
Anything stand out for you?
Gosh, this was an intense session. Almost died, but didn't, so I succeeded with my intentions.
Nice.
I feel like Helena's definitely, I think getting that bow, that's a game changer for her. I've never played Ranger before, And no offense to anybody who likes Rangers, but they suck in the beginning. I can like do nothing. I'm like playing with that with Helena because I mean it kind of makes sense. I don't feel like she'd really find her usefulness until after sort of finagling her way around for a little while. So, I mean that's fine. But yeah, this bow's a game changer. So personally, that's what I'm most excited about. And jumping into the fire. Let's see what happens. Let's go.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. Thanks for that feedback. And how about you, Big Bri? Any thoughts for you? What stands out for you? What are you daunted by, excited about, afraid of, looking forward to?
Well, I am certainly burning through my abilities very quickly in these fights, but I mean, I love the challenge of it. I am looking forward to seeing what happens when everybody goes to the fire, and I'm excited to see what happens when, spoiler alert, Lokag forgets to put the goblin down before he walks through. So, very excited for that.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for that heads up. That'll be fun. Awesome.
I figured you might want that one. Give you a little week's worth of prep time. So
See, y'all, I have the best players. This is how cooperative D&D works, you know? It's not us versus them. It's we're in this together, and we're weaving it together. Heck yeah. How about you, X? Any locator?
I love the team, you know. Clifford's a very different kind of ranger from Helena.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Pompon, don't underestimate just putting an arrow in something once per turn. It's really good. You know, Rangers aren't bad. They're not doing a lot of different stuff. You know, it's just arrow to the face, arrow to the face.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I'm used to the illusion of doing many things as a wizard, but in essence, you're kind of doing the same thing.
but no, I like that fight. You know, Millie took care of one of the goblins, pinned it down. You know, Lokag was fearlessly running forward with 2 hit points. I think team. That was a nice combat to kind of showcase our teamwork, and I thought it was good. I thought everybody's starting to, you know, really build into the personalities of their characters. It's great. I love it.
Agreed. Yeah. To piggyback on that, there was a lot more like in character and cross talk and stuff during the session, which is wonderful chaos. So heck yeah. Well, thanks for that feedback, Locator. And J Fink, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot everyone has already said. Just the interactions between characters, the dynamics of kind of learning, kind of, you know, a little bit more about Cliff and X and the whole gang on their kind of insights into the survival of our enemy, if you will, and kind of how we treat these things that, you know, aren't necessarily going to treat us well if they saw the chance to. So excited for
Right.
that. Yeah, these combats, man. I don't know if the watchers have a good understanding of, you know, how little we have at these levels. So we're level 2, and we're all burning through pretty much everything, every combat that we have.
A lot.
And yeah, that's exciting and scary and frightening, and part of the reason I was like, we need to go walk through this flame. We can't, like, we were joking at the break of taking a long rest again, right? Like, we just had one. It'd be great if we could have another,
Right.
please. So yeah, I think that's it's frightening and exciting. It makes for a very great story, and I'm very excited to see what this fire does to everyone else now that I've stepped in it. So very interesting. Always looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, y'all always have me looking forward to the next session consistently. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for another awesome Monday. Our viewers and friends out there, thanks so much for being here and giving bits, and we heard some subs tonight, and thank y'all so much. This is so fun to do this with all of you, because there's a lot of interaction. Y'all are giving my players some terrible ideas, and shame on you, and thank you. This is great. So yeah, I think yeah, I don't think I have much more to say other than thank you so much for for being here. We all look forward to this every week, so glad y'all do too. I think we're gonna raid. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, DM, for your storytelling brilliance and your willingness to say yes to a lot of shenanigans that may or may not be by the rules. You really you make it hard, but you also let us have fun, and man, I love it.
Excellent. Heck yeah. Well, I heard somewhere that shenanigans were actually the fourth pillar of D&D, and I totally believe in that.
I hope that's true.
Yeah, I really like that
Make
one.
sure it has a different art style than the restaurant, store, whatever it was.
Well, all right, so I think we're going to raid out. Got a couple ideas here. Looking at Captain Robert. He's got a lot of followers. I don't see anybody else that's immediately playing music. Insomnia Night. Check them out. Let's see here. Yeah.
Robar has some D&D reruns going on.
Okay. Okay. We got live D&D over on Insomnia Night RPG.
There we go.
So I just slash raid, right?
Yeah, /raid in the username.
Gotcha.
You want a space in between them.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, we are raiding out. Thanks to y'all so much. Have a great week. Get yourself some good rest, drink some water, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye all.
Bye now.
Yeah. I think, let's see here. I'm not sure it's switching.
Yes, good night, everyone.
It's working on it, DM.
Oh, it's actually.
It's just going down that little bar. Yep.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yep.
Never been in charge of this before. This is fun. What little bar are you talking about?
So there's like a DM Feanor is rating Insomnia Night RPG with 13 raiders. So it's just kind of timing down.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I can. There's a
the top
button
of
up
the chat
there.
window.
I see that.
Yeah, I think there might be one that just says raid now.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
All right. Awesome. Well, I'll take a moment here. GM Night Fox and Teal Seal, thank you. Valentine and Small Wonder, thank you so much. Let's see here. What else we got? My goodness. We got some Jedi in here. Or, I'm sorry, Sith. A Darth. Where'd she go? I know she was here. But y'all, thank y'all so much. We're going to go ahead and raid out, and we'll see y'all next week. Be good to yourselves. All right. Yeah, I did it. I'm going to go ahead and stop.